Let's be real, you're not just growing, you're glowing. That light you're radiating, it's undeniable, unshakable, and absolutely yours. And here's the truth they don't want to admit. They see it. The same ones who ghosted you, who thought your grind wasn't worth their time, are now circling back. Why? Because you've turned every ounce of doubt into undeniable greatness. But let me tell you this, you don't owe them anything. Your table is sacred, and your energy is priceless. This isn't about shutting people out. It's about protecting the space you fought so hard to create. The ones who were there when the climb was steep, who celebrated your smallest wins, who believed in your vision even when it was just a seed. They earned their seat. The rest? They're just spectators now. You didn't rise for their approval. You rose for you. Let them admire from the sidelines. Let them wish they hadn't underestimated you. And let their regret fuel your clarity. Your success is proof that loyalty and authenticity matter more than empty words or fleeting attention. So keep going, keep shining, and keep reminding the world, you're not just living, you're thriving. They don't return out of remorse, but with motives wrapped in nostalgia, hoping the warmth of old memories will obscure their intent. Their interest isn't in rekindling genuine connections, but in positioning themselves near your rising star. Your victories illuminate what they lack, and now they want to bask in the glow they once dismissed. They're not seeking a reunion of trust. They're seeking a foothold in the success they didn't help build. The fear of irrelevance gnaws at them, and your achievements are the salve they desperately seek. They watched from the sidelines, betting on your failure, and now rush forward as your ascent leaves them behind. Their return isn't fueled by admiration, but by the fear of being forgotten. What they crave is validation, not companionship. Your success has become the badge of relevance they're scrambling to claim, a shortcut to recognition they haven't earned. To them, your presence is a commodity, and your accomplishments are currency in the game of social clout. They don't see your journey. They see an opportunity to leverage your triumphs for their gain. Their compliments are laced with self-interest, their smiles a veneer for ulterior motives. This isn't about you, it's about what your position can do for them. Their sudden enthusiasm isn't connection, it's calculation. Ghosting was never a singular act. It was a choice layered with dismissals that left marks far deeper than silence. Those who avoided your ambition, who doubted your vision, now resurface with selective amnesia, acting as though their absence was inconsequential. Their indifference wasn't benign. It was an intentional rejection of your potential. And now, as they feel the sting of exclusion they once inflicted, they return, hoping time has softened the impact of their neglect. The echoes of their dismissal may still linger, but you've grown beyond their reach. You've learned to recognize that their reappearance isn't about reconciliation. It's about self-preservation. Let them approach, but remember, they aren't drawn by who you are. They're drawn by what they see you've become. Now, as your achievements take center stage, their absence becomes a glaring reminder of their choices. Those who once dismissed your potential, whether as mentors, managers, or guides, did so because they couldn't see beyond their own limited perspectives. They saw nothing extraordinary, unaware of the fire within you that was destined to ignite. Today they feel the silent ripple of your progress, their smiles forced, and their compliments hollow. It's not admiration they feel. It's the weight of missed opportunities and the quiet sting of their own short-sightedness. Structural rejection carries a heavier burden, a societal bias that attempted to erase your voice before it could even find resonance. This wasn't just personal neglect, it was systemic. Overcoming it demanded not just effort, but defiance, a refusal to be silenced. Your success now is more than a personal triumph. It's a blow against the structures that tried to render you invisible. Every milestone you reach is a strike against the forces that sought to hold you back. In the digital age, silence takes on a sharper edge. Ignored messages, unanswered calls, and empty engagements become the tools of dismissal. Each missed interaction they thought would diminish you has reversed, becoming a testament to their absence in the story of your rise. Now the quiet they once wielded is theirs to endure, amplified by the echoes of your undeniable success. Their silence was never about you. It was a reflection of their inability to see your worth. They chose to underestimate you, to treat you as an afterthought, but their indifference says more about them than it ever could about you. The reasons behind their choices don't matter, because their absence didn't define you. Instead, it clarified who deserves to stand beside you. Closure is often painted as a gift of understanding, but it's a power you hold, not something they can grant. You don't need their apologies, their excuses, or their validations. The moment they stepped away, they relinquished their place in your story. Moving forward isn't contingent on their actions. It's a decision you make. Cut the cord, leave the past where it belongs, and walk on without looking back. They made their choice when they disappeared. Now, let them remain where they chose to be. You don't need their explanations, their reappearance, or their attempts to reinsert themselves into your narrative. If you've claimed your freedom, their absence is no longer a weight. It's a revelation of their inability to meet you where you are. Let them stay gone and continue forward, unstoppable and unbothered. Jealousy creeps into their hearts as they watch you rise, turning your success into a glaring reminder of their stagnation. Your growth isn't just a testament to your resilience, it's a reflection of everything they've failed to achieve. Each milestone you reach adds weight to their insecurities, and instead of celebrating your accomplishments, they retreat. Their silence isn't benign, it's a mechanism of self-preservation, a way to shield themselves from the discomfort your progress ignites. By ghosting, they convince themselves that ignoring your ascent will dull the pain of their own lack of momentum. Their withdrawal is less about you and more about what your victories reveal. Your achievements cast a light that threatens to expose their complacency, so they choose to disappear rather than confront their shortcomings. Their distance isn't about indifference. It's an attempt to reclaim control in a narrative where they feel overshadowed. Your perseverance highlights their inability to match your determination, and rather than face that truth, they choose avoidance. Their absence isn't accidental, it's calculated. The envy they harbor isn't a reflection of your worth, but of their inability to measure up. They don't ghost because they've forgotten you. They ghost because they can't handle what you represent. Let their silence speak, for it's louder than their words could ever be. They never had the capacity to walk beside you, and their disappearance only solidifies your path forward. Now is the time to share God's blessings by clicking the super thank you button on YouTube. You can contribute to His plan and be part of this divine mission with a donation of $100 or more. Every gift reflects God's generosity, and I believe it will come back to you exponentially, far beyond your expectations. Remember, His protection and blessings are on your every step and every donation. You become part of His divine plan. You are a strong, radiant being, unshakable as his mighty rock. Witness God's miracles, feel the fruits of your generosity in your soul, and illuminate the world with confidence and courage. Be blessed, and let the light of the Lord guide your path. Think of the classic tale of a race, where one contestant underestimates the other's resolve. The one who starts fast, filled with overconfidence, pauses to rest, assured of an easy win. But the steady competitor, unbothered by dismissal, moves forward with quiet focus, step by step. The ending is inevitable, not because of luck, but because consistency always outlasts arrogance. Those who ghosted you thought they were leaving you behind, certain of their own advantage. They saw themselves as superior, scoffing at the pace of your journey. But now, as your accomplishments unfold and the finish line draws closer, they rush back, desperate to align themselves with the triumph they once dismissed. Let their scramble serve as a reminder. Victory belongs not to those who retreat, but to those who remain steadfast. You've already won because you chose persistence over pretense. Let them watch from the sidelines. They forfeited their place beside you when they underestimated your strength. This is your moment to rise. Subscribe now, and let's make it unforgettable. The groundwork for your success was laid in moments they didn't witness, the sacrifices made while they looked away. Every quiet achievement, every step forward in solitude, became the unshakable base of what you've built today. They didn't notice the long nights, the discipline, or the battles you faced alone. Their absence didn't hinder you, it fueled you. Every rejection, every instance of indifference became the fire that forged your resilience and turned your determination into dominance. What they didn't see was your transformation. While they disappeared, you stayed the course, turning silence into strength and indifference into motivation. Their disregard didn't break you. It became the catalyst for your rise. Now, as you stand at the pinnacle of your journey, they return, drawn by the glow of your triumph. They offer empty praise, hoping to secure a spot at the table you built from scratch. But you remember who was there during the struggle and who wasn't. Your success wasn't a gift. It was earned, step by step, without their approval or support. The space you've created isn't meant for everyone. You've learned to value depth over numbers, recognizing that true connections are built on trust, not convenience. Your circle is intentional, composed of those who stood by you when your vision was just a whisper. The absence of those who doubted you isn't a loss, it's a blessing. Their silence gave you the room to grow, and their exclusion preserves your peace. Legacy isn't about appeasing the crowd, it's about staying true to the boundaries and values that brought you here. Their applause doesn't validate you, nor does their approval define your worth. You've reached a place where their acknowledgement is unnecessary. Let them linger on the edges, watching from afar. Their interest now is hollow, born of envy and the realization of what they missed. Your focus remains forward, your choices deliberate. Legacy isn't built on borrowed admiration, it's built on consistent action, unshakable resolve, and unwavering self-belief. You're not here to prove anything to them, you're here to prove to yourself what you've always known. You are capable of greatness. Let them watch, but let them stay where they left themselves. On the outside, looking in. Authenticity is a force that needs no validation. It simply thrives. As you grow into your truth, those who can't match your energy naturally drift away, like leaves swept from a tree in the wind. Their discomfort is not your responsibility. It's their reaction to the brilliance you bring to the table. Losing connections that no longer align isn't failure, it's clarity. These individuals were never meant to accompany you on your journey. Your evolution illuminated the limitations they refused to confront, and they chose distance over growth. Letting them go isn't loss, it's freedom. True connection doesn't require chasing, it flourishes in alignment. As you shed pretenses, the right people are drawn to you, not by force, but by resonance. These are the ones who see you for who you are, who meet your energy with equal intensity and purpose. Your authenticity acts as a filter, clearing the path for relationships built on mutual respect and shared vision. There's no room for those intimidated by your truth. They were never meant to stay. Those who belong will find their way to you effortlessly. Feel the spark. Let's turn it into a flame. Subscribe now and join the journey. The process of stepping into your authenticity is one of unmasking, leaving behind layers of expectations that others tried to impose. They wanted you to dim yourself, to conform, but you refused. Every layer you shed sharpens the contrast between those who celebrate your growth and those who fade away. Your tribe emerges not from chance, but from the undeniable strength of shared purpose. Keep peeling back the layers, knowing that authenticity guarantees that only those aligned with your path will remain. As you rise, your mastery speaks louder than their indifference ever could. Be so good they can't ignore you isn't just advice, it's the truth you've lived. They walked away when they thought you were ordinary, unaware of the relentless dedication you poured into your craft. They didn't see the grind, the quiet moments of perseverance that built your unshakable foundation. Now, as your excellence becomes impossible to overlook, they attempt to return, not out of transformation, but out of necessity. Your growth demands attention, but you know better. Let your light shine, but reserve your table for those who earned their place beside you. This isn't a matter of chance or perfect timing, it's the result of relentless effort and unmatched skill. Their absence didn't hinder you, it honed your focus. Their rejection didn't weaken you, it sharpened your resolve. As you rise, not to prove them wrong, but because greatness speaks for itself, their attempts to return carry no weight. They underestimated you, and now they scramble for relevance in a space they abandoned. You owe them nothing. Exclusion isn't spiteful, it's purposeful. Preserving your energy is essential, and those who uplift you, who inspire growth without diminishing you, are the only ones worth your time. The rest? They siphon, they drain, and they're undeserving of the access they seek. Protecting your circle is an act of power and discernment. You get to decide who enters and who remains at a distance. Let those who doubted your potential remain spectators, watching as you build something far beyond their contribution. Forgiveness doesn't mean inviting chaos back into your space. You can release resentment without erasing boundaries. Acknowledging their humanity doesn't require giving them a foothold in your peace. Honor yourself enough to differentiate between those who return with sincerity and those who simply want a piece of your success. Your potential is waiting. Unlock it with us. Subscribe now and start your transformation. True intentions reveal themselves through actions, not words. Genuine effort is steady, consistent, and grounded in authenticity. Opportunists, on the other hand, bring shallow compliments and hidden motives, hoping to benefit from your light without having supported its ignition. Compassion has its limits, and growth demands the clarity to enforce them. Protecting your energy isn't selfish, it's essential. Excluding those who don't belong isn't rejection, it's wisdom. The table you've built isn't for everyone, and only those who've earned their place deserve a seat. Consider the tale of King Midas, whose obsession with gold became his undoing. His desire for wealth blinded him to the true value of life, and everything he touched was consumed by his greed. Those who dismissed you are no different. They see your success as something to covet, but they lack the understanding of the sacrifices, resilience, and solitude that created it. Like Midas, they focus on the shine, but fail to comprehend the depth of the journey. Their sudden interest isn't rooted in admiration. It's fueled by their longing to benefit from your brilliance. But your story isn't theirs to claim. Let them remain outside, gazing at the success they never believed was possible. Their disregard wasn't silence, it was a decision. Now, as your brilliance becomes impossible to ignore, they return, not in support, but in search of relevance. Their motives are transparent. Your achievements expose what they lack, and their presence is fueled by their need to rewrite their role in your success. This isn't poetic justice by accident. It's the natural result of persistence meeting authenticity. The tables have turned not out of spite, but through the quiet, undeniable force of your evolution. Their reckoning isn't your concern, but your triumph serves as its irrefutable proof. Your story isn't theirs to define. Their validation adds no value to the strength you've cultivated. Those who now scramble to align themselves with your narrative misunderstand what truly matters. Let them watch from the sidelines, for they only see the shine, not the sacrifices. Those who supported you when the path was uncertain are the ones who deserve to stand beside you now. They are the foundation, the steady hands that fortified your climb. Include them with purpose, not out of obligation, but because their loyalty earned them a seat at your table. Leadership is about rewriting the rules, not to exclude, but to ensure inclusion for the right reasons. You're not breaking norms, you're building new systems. Let your leadership be defined by clarity and compassion. Reject opportunism with grace, holding firm to the boundaries that protect your peace. Those who return out of desperation are met not with malice, but with humor, a light yet sharp reminder of their absence when it mattered. Your success isn't theirs to share unless they've shown genuine effort, not for their sake, but for alignment with your purpose. Kindness isn't weakness, and boundaries aren't cruelty, they're strength. Compassion allows forgiveness, but forgiveness doesn't erase history. Protecting your energy, your vision, and your legacy is your right. The doors you've opened are for those who bring integrity, effort, and alignment. The rest remain outside, watching your rise as a testament to what they let slip through their fingers. Let your success speak for itself, and let your choices reflect the clarity of who truly deserves a place in your story. The essence of effort speaks louder than any apology. Those who vanished when the work demanded presence have no place in the rewards of its fruition. Their absence during your struggle was a choice, and now the choice of who sits at your table is yours alone. Let it reflect the loyalty and commitment that align with your values. Change doesn't come through promises. It's visible in action. Those who claim transformation without demonstrating it are just noise. Real effort is intentional, sustained, and undeniable. Apologies can be offered easily, but trust is built on the foundation of actions that persist over time. It's not your role to grant belief without proof of their growth. Words may sound convincing, but patterns show the truth. If their behavior reverts to old habits, their so-called change was merely a fleeting performance. Genuine transformation doesn't come with demands for forgiveness. It quietly proves itself over time without expectation. Let their actions, not their words, reveal their sincerity. You've built something worth protecting, and not everyone deserves access to it. Redemption isn't handed out. It's earned through consistent effort and integrity. You don't owe anyone your trust simply because they ask for it. Let their actions build a path back, and if they falter, they prove they haven't truly changed. Your peace is precious, and guarding it is a priority. Those who cannot match their words with action remain unchanged, and their growth is not your responsibility. Walking forward requires discernment. Demand action over explanation, progress over platitudes. Closure isn't found in their words, it's in your decision to move on without their approval or apologies. The doors you close behind you are a testament to your strength, not a reflection of weakness. Growth is your armor, your weapon against those who underestimated you. Letting go isn't abandonment, it's choosing yourself over their empty promises. They made their choices, and now they remain where they belong. On the sidelines, watching as you continue to rise. Your achievements don't require their validation. Their silence spoke volumes during your struggle. But now your success drowns out any noise they try to make. They chose to disappear when the journey was uncertain. And now they resurface, not for you, but for the rewards of what you've created. Let them stay as observers, distant from the foundation they didn't help build. Reconciliation isn't always the answer. Your peace doesn't depend on their involvement. Every step forward distances you from their absence and strengthens your resolve. Healing means understanding they were never a necessary part of your growth. Closure isn't found in their explanations. It's in your ability to let go of the need for their presence. Allow them to remain on the outside, watching what they once disregarded. Your progress isn't for their benefit. It's a testament to your resilience. Closure is not an olive branch. It's a firm boundary. Continue moving forward, leaving their silence behind as a footnote in your story. When people show their true selves, believe them. The spaces you create should be filled with those who supported you when the road was uncertain. These are the people who stood firm when recognition felt far away. Celebrate the ones who remained constant, and let your circle reflect authenticity, loyalty, and mutual respect. Those who left have made their choice, and your success doesn't owe them an invitation back in. Their actions have already spoken for them. Living boldly means thriving without seeking approval, without looking back, and without hesitation. Your journey wasn't defined by their absence. It was built by your determination and strength. While redemption may be an option for some, your boundaries are non-negotiable. Past actions reveal intent, and no shallow apology can undo the choices they made when you needed them most. The significance of your table isn't in who sits at it, but in the integrity of those who do. Let them stay outside, watching what they lost the chance to be a part of. Your focus isn't on proving them wrong. It's on living so fearlessly that their opinions lose all meaning. The foundation you've built stands tall, impervious to the whispers of those who vanished. It reflects not just effort, but intention, resilience, and clarity. Your table isn't for everyone. It's for the ones who chose to rise with you, who honored your vision and celebrated your victories as their own. Each chair at your table tells a story of mutual respect and unwavering support. Those who left when the journey demanded more were never meant to stay, and their absence made room for those who truly belong. Keep your space sacred. Let those who drifted away remain at a distance, for their choices have already revealed their priorities. Their departure wasn't a loss, it was liberation. You've cultivated something extraordinary, and not everyone deserves access to it. Guard your energy fiercely and allow only those aligned with your purpose to enter your circle. This isn't about exclusion, it's about choosing elevation over compromise, strength over pretense. Your growth wasn't fueled by validation, it thrived in its absence. The space they left became the soil for your unshakable legacy. Your journey is not just yours, it's a beacon for others to follow. Share your evolution, not for the applause, but to inspire. Let your narrative remind others of the importance of discernment and the value of staying true to their path. Encourage them to honor their boundaries and to hold their tables as sacred spaces for authenticity and loyalty. The best seats are earned, never given. And in every step forward, remind yourself, your light isn't diminished by leaving the unworthy behind. It shines brighter because of it.